Here is a fact that changes how you think about your own body. 95% of your serotonin, the chemical most closely associated with happiness, mood stability, and emotional well-being, is not made in your brain. It is made in your gut, and that is just the beginning. Your gut contains more neurons than your spinal cord. It produces and responds to the same neurotransmitters as your brain. It communicates directly with your brain through a dedicated nerve, sending and receiving signals that influence your mood, your memory, your stress response, your immune system, and even your risk of Alzheimer's disease. Scientists call this the gut-brain axis, and research published in NIH and PubMed peer-reviewed journals is now showing that this connection is not just real. It is one of the most important systems in your entire body. And what you eat, how you sleep, and how stressed you are is changing the health of this system every single day. By the end of this video, you will understand how the gut-brain axis works, what it means for your mood, your mental health, and your cognitive function, and 5 specific steps to support it, starting today. Section 1. What the gut-brain axis actually is. For most of medical history, scientists thought of the gut as a simple digestion tube. Input goes in, output comes out. The brain runs everything else. These two systems were studied separately, treated separately, and almost never considered together. That understanding is now obsolete. The gut-brain axis is a bidirectional communication highway connecting your gastrointestinal tract to your central nervous system. It operates through multiple simultaneous pathways, neural, hormonal, and immune. And it runs in both directions. Your brain sends signals down to your gut, and your gut sends signals up to your brain. What is remarkable is that the majority of the traffic on this highway goes upward from gut to brain, not the other way around. Your gut has its own independent nervous system, called the enteric nervous system, containing approximately 500 million neurons. This is why it is often called the second brain. It can operate independently of your brain. It regulates digestion, gut immunity, and a vast array of chemical signaling without any input from your central nervous system. And it is in constant two-way communication with your brain via the vagus nerve. Section 2. The vagus nerve, the direct line between gut and brain. The primary physical cable connecting your gut and your brain is the vagus nerve, the longest nerve in your body. It runs from your brainstem all the way down through your chest and into your abdomen, connecting to virtually every organ along the way. Here is what makes this so remarkable. Approximately 80% of the vagus nerve's fibers are afferent, meaning they carry information from your gut to your brain. Only 20% carry signals going down from brain to gut. Your gut is talking to your brain far more than your brain is talking to your gut. What this means practically, the state of your gut is being reported to your brain in real time. If your gut microbiome is healthy and balanced, that information travels up the vagus nerve and supports calm, stable mood, clear thinking, and good memory. If your gut is inflamed or dysbiotic, that signal also travels up, and your brain responds accordingly. Section 3. Serotonin. Your happiness chemical is made in your gut. Let us go back to that opening fact, because it deserves a full explanation. 95% of your serotonin is produced in your gut, not your brain. And understanding why this matters changes everything about how you think about mood and mental health. Here is how it works. Your gut bacteria, particularly species of lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, stimulate specialized cells called enterochromaffin cells to produce serotonin from tryptophan, an amino acid found in protein-rich foods. This gut-produced serotonin does not cross into the brain directly, but it plays a critical role in regulating gut motility, immune function, and the vagal signals that influence your brain's own serotonin production. The gut also produces GABA, the brain's primary calming neurotransmitter, as well as dopamine precursors and short-chain fatty acids that cross the blood-brain barrier and directly influence neurochemistry. Your gut is not just connected to your brain, it is actively manufacturing the chemicals your brain uses to regulate your emotional state. Section 4. Gut dysbiosis and mental health. The research evidence. When the gut microbiome is healthy, diverse, balanced, and well-fed, the gut-brain axis functions as it should. But when the microbiome is disrupted, a state called dysbiosis, the consequences extend far beyond digestion. This is not just an association. Researchers have now identified specific mechanisms. Dysbiosis reduces the production of short-chain fatty acids, which are critical for gut barrier integrity and brain signaling. It increases gut permeability, often called leaky gut, allowing bacterial products to enter the bloodstream and trigger systemic inflammation. That inflammation then crosses into the brain, disrupting the very neural circuits that regulate mood and cognition. Important context on the evidence. The gut-brain axis is one of the fastest-growing research areas in medicine. Much of the strongest evidence comes from animal studies and observational human data. The causal relationship in humans is still being established through clinical trials. What is well established? Specific gut bacteria influence neurotransmitter production. Gut dysbiosis correlates strongly with depression and anxiety, and dietary interventions improve both gut microbiome diversity and mental health outcomes. Section 5. 5 evidence-based steps to support your gut-brain axis. The research is now clear enough to give you specific, actionable steps to support the gut-brain axis. Here are 5, each backed by published peer-reviewed evidence. Step 1. Eat fermented foods daily. They outperform fiber for microbiome diversity. This finding from a landmark Stanford clinical trial surprised even the researchers. A 10-week randomized trial compared a high fermented food diet with a high fiber diet. The result, fermented foods consistently and significantly increased gut microbiome diversity and reduced inflammatory markers. Today's action: add 1 fermented food daily. Plain yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, or kombucha. Choose options with live cultures and no added sugar. Step 2. Eat a diverse range of plant foods. Feed your microbiome. Gut microbiome diversity is one of the most consistent predictors of gut-brain axis health, and the single most powerful driver of microbiome diversity is dietary diversity, and specifically the variety of plant foods consumed. Today's action: aim for 30 different plant foods per week. Vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, and herbs. Count variety, not just volume. Step 3. Reduce ultra-processed food and refined sugar. Ultra-processed foods and refined sugars do not just fail to feed beneficial gut bacteria. They actively feed harmful bacterial species, reduce microbiome diversity, damage the gut lining, and promote the dysbiosis associated with poor mental health outcomes. Each processed meal replaced with whole food is a direct benefit to your gut-brain axis. Step 4. Prioritize sleep. Your microbiome operates on a circadian rhythm. Your gut microbiome has its own circadian rhythm. Populations of bacteria that are active at different times of day and night. When your sleep is disrupted, this microbial circadian rhythm is disrupted too. The result is measurable changes in microbiome composition, reduced production of beneficial metabolites, and increased gut permeability. 7 to 9 hours of consistent sleep. Your microbiome literally resets and rebalances during sleep. Step 5. Manage chronic stress. It physically changes your gut bacteria. Psychological stress has direct documented effects on gut microbiome composition. Cortisol and adrenaline, released during chronic stress, change gut motility, increase gut permeability, and alter the environment in which gut bacteria live. This shifts the balance away from beneficial species and toward harmful ones. The damaged microbiome then sends stress signals back up the vagus nerve to the brain, worsening the stress response in a documented feedback loop. Daily stress management, even 10 minutes of breathing practice, mindfulness, or movement, protects your gut microbiome directly. Think of stress management as gut health management. They are the same thing through the lens of the gut-brain axis. Let us bring this together. Your gut is not just a digestive organ. It is a complex neurochemical system, producing 95% of your serotonin, housing 500 million neurons, and communicating constantly with your brain through the vagus nerve and through hormonal and immune pathways. When your gut microbiome is healthy and diverse, these signals support stable mood, clear thinking, calm emotional regulation, and long-term brain health. When your microbiome is disrupted by poor diet, stress, sleep deprivation, or ultra-processed food, those disrupted signals travel up to your brain and contribute to depression, anxiety, cognitive decline, and neuroinflammation. The 5 steps that directly support the gut-brain axis. Add fermented foods daily, proven in a Stanford randomized trial to increase microbiome diversity and reduce inflammation. Eat 30 different plant foods per week. Reduce ultra-processed food. Protect 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Manage chronic stress daily.
All of these steps are also the same steps that support sleep quality, reduce chronic inflammation, and protect brain health, because these systems are not separate. They are one interconnected whole.
Every claim in this video is sourced from NIH and PubMed peer-reviewed research. All 14 links are in the description below. Share this video with someone who struggles with mood, anxiety, or brain fog, because the answer may be somewhere they have never thought to look.